Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I've been away for a week, and there was so much stuff to catch up on. So I guess hit the subscribe and ring the bell if you don't want to miss any videos. There's likely to be at least 3 today and then a couple more tomorrow to get me back up to date. But today there's something absolutely juicy just dropping. So a callback to my childhood stuff. Basically from today, no pre-warning, from today, there is this new event for He-Man and Skeletor on the kind of like He-Man and Masters of the Universe IP. So anyone who was like an 80s kid will know this brand really well. I guess it probably transcends past that, but definitely one of my favorite cartoons growing up. And it looks like here they're adding He-Man and Skeletor into the game. None of the others that I could see. There's no like... you know, big, I can't think of all their names now, honestly. The Big Cat, She-Ra. Anyway, it looks like there's no others. I'm just reading, I've got like an info doc that came with it as well, but it looks like to me, it's in-game. So I might as well just check out the in-game stuff, just seeing if there's anything else that's juicy around it other than the dates. But let's get into it. So Champion Pass here, He-Man edition of the Champion Pass is now live. Very iconic artwork. So complete the challenge pass to earn champions and get amazing rewards. I think it's basically a forge pass, but using He-Man as the kind of reward here. So yeah, legendary champion. I guess kind of like they did with Xena. Was it Xena? So let's have a look through. There's some gear involved. The items are based on him. And I guess they think that he is going to be good with instant gear. You've got his avatar in the mix. The rest of the items are kind of okay. Got some five-star chicken stuff going on here. You do need to have... You need to buy it, basically, to get He-Man. That's where we're at. How much does that cost? $39.99 to pick up He-Man. I didn't do the last one. I didn't do the Xena because I was like, look, kind of sucks that you're doing it as a paid pass like that without any chance of it being a free-to-play thing. We'll check out his kit and stuff, but yeah, I'm still kind of in the same boat, honestly. I don't love it. Although, compared to Raid normal prices, if you're a spender, this sort of money for a guaranteed champ is very low. Okay, let's be clear. A $39.99 for a guaranteed champion in Raid Shadow Legends is very low. I still don't like that you have to buy it to be able to get this guy ever. That for me is it's a little bit sucky. So let's see what else. Still got the Forge Pass running. I literally have not logged into my game for like a week basically at this point because I've been in, I don't know if I said, I've been in Slush, which is in Finland. It's like a game developers conference where you have the founders and investors come together into one event. We've been talking to a number of investors for Godford or for Fateless, and yeah, I mean, if you know some Saudi princes that want to get involved, then throw them my way. But anyway, yeah, it was really interesting. I saw loads of news coming in for Raid, and as I say, there's tons of stuff I need to catch up on. So we do have here a freebie though. This is good, right? So we've got Skeletor Chase, where you get yourself some gear over the first 6 days. You then get Skeletor on day 7 as a freebie, a free 7-day login reward. And as I say, this runs through till 25th of January. So as long as you log in between now and the 25th, you're going to pick up Skeletor. Check him out in a second as well. For the second week, you then get some extra bits and pieces, nothing too crazy, but you get a 2-star soul, which we like. I would not be surprised if there is a event for He-Man at some point along the way with a soul. I'll read this info actually because it'll probably tell me on my pack that I've got here. Yeah, I'll read through that in a second and just see. But phase 2 is where it gets juicy, so you can get all the way up to a 5-star soul, as well as a prismatic, as well as some gear and stuff. I do like the way they do this, and this is easy, by the way. These are easy to do if you're just playing the game. So Skeletor plus a 5-man soul in the mix as well. So what's his faction here? How can we just go into him? Yeah. So he's a Knights Rev. See if there's anything different here. Just talks us through what we've just seen. basic rewards, elite rewards for He-Man. He's Sacred Order. Champion Pass is available to all players level 5 and up. So it's basically everyone. You get level 5 in about 10 seconds. Don't miss out on your chance. Okay, so we've got Sacred Order and we've got a Night Revs. It's not going to let me into the game easy because I have not been playing this week. Okay, Sacred Order then. Let's check him out. Is he already in game? Must be. Yeah. Oh, man, the aesthetic is pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool in a way of, I know. Oh, yeah, there it is. I have the power. Damn, very cool. Did anyone ever watch the He-Man film? It's dreadful, absolutely dreadful. See this here. So it's part of Mattel, under licensed classic media. Surprised they got to add that in game. Actually, I thought they'd have to add it somewhere, but I didn't think they'd put it there. So let's check them out. So this is the paid version, the paid one that you'd have to get. A1 attacks an enemy, places an extra hit on enemies from the corrupted. So that is talking about anyone in these 4 factions. So Demon Spawn, Undead, Dark Elves, Night Revs. That's where the corrupted comes from. They don't use that a lot, actually, but I like it. So extra hit on the corrupted. Also fills this champion's turn meter by 10%. Fills their turn meter by an additional 2. I guess his is what they mean there. For each buff on this champion. So you could get maybe like a double hitter. Is it each hit? I'm guessing it's each hit if it's a double hit. So you could end up getting like a 20-30% turn meter fill on an A1. And his damage scales from attack and HP, a bit like a Rotus. Okay, what's his stats like? Good attack, good HP, good speed. Right. So it looks like he's a damage dealer then, as you'd expect, I guess. Attacks an enemy before attacking, places a 50% increased attack on himself. So he is an attack champion, self-buffing, which is always nice for live arena. Will ignore Stone Skin, also very nice for anything arena. If this attack kills an enemy, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. Interesting, okay. And then we've got an attacks all enemies here. Damage inflicted by this skill increases by 10% for each buff placed on this champion before this skill is used. Stacks up to 500%. Resets after this skill is used. Stacks up to 500%. That's weird. So you're going to need 50 buffs to get maximum damage out of this skill, and then it resets. That's very weird. It's a very weird way they've written that there, because why would you not use it if it's a big AoE? If you can only use it as a one-off. Like, I mean, I'd love to see what the 500% damage is. I wonder if that's meant to say 50%. Anyway, it resets, so it could be 500%, but you'd be a lunatic to wait. You know, that'd be like, I'm going to use it for my last hit in Hydra type of vibe. So, very odd. I guess so, you know, in something like Live Arena, you could easily get a 50-60% type of increase here for this skill. And we've got a passive here. Increases this champion's attack and HP by 5% for each buff placed on this champion. Stacks up to 50. So you can get 50% more attack on him as well, and HP. Did everything scale HP as well? Yeah. Places strengthened buff on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. So if you think about a round, it's when you enter a fight. So you could go from wave 1 to wave 2. That's 2 separate rounds. But in, say, PvP, there's only ever 1 round. In Clan Boss, there's only ever 1 round. On Hydra, there's 1 round, you know? So you will get this in PvP when you come into the fight. So you start stacking, I guess. But, yeah, it's not great for long, drawn-out fights. Also places strengthen on this champion for 2 turns whenever his HP drops low, though. So that's actually cool. So that's kind of like more like the boss scenario of it. So if you're healing him up, there's no cooldown on that. So that's pretty solid, yeah. This champion is immune to petrification debuffs. Okay, so I think you've only got like a couple of champions that do that currently. Maybe Skeletor will have that. I bet Skeletor has that. Okay. And then we've got speed in arena increased by 28%. I'd say ignoring Stone Skin's kind of big. There's not many champions that do that, providing he hits hard. We need to see some multipliers. I wonder if Saf's already got that info. Let me see. Actually, not yet. Okay. All right, then. Let's check out Skeletor. So this is the freebie. He's going to be in here. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, to the right. I guess you got the instant recognition here. If you know Skeletor, yes. Good job. Instant visual recognition. The weapon looks sweet. Nice work, raid team, as ever. Cool. Okay, nice. So this is our freebie. Is a support, decent speed, decent stats. Double hitter on the A1. Each hit, 75% chance of increasing duration of a random debuff on a target. Is HP based. We've then got attacks an enemy. Yeah, he's got petrification. Okay, so he's kind of like blocked by He-Man, but still this is a good debuff. So books up to 100% chance of placing petrification on the target. If the target is a boss, instead, he's going to place decrease attack and decrease speed. That's actually really nice for most bosses. Whenever petrification debuff is removed or expired on an enemy, 50-50, but actually there's up to 75% chance of placing decreased speed. Okay, so you're basically locking someone out for arena type of purposes, but bosses, you get a couple of good debuffs. We've then got A3 here. Places increased accuracy on all allies for 2 turns. Then books up to 100% chance to steal, block debuffs, and 1 other random buff from each enemy. I mean, stealing block debuffs is really strong in terms of it's stopping everything else, right? So block debuffs is one of the strongest debuffs, strongest buffs in the game for a lot of content, especially when, you know, Hydra picks up your block debuffs, or in arena block debuffs goes out there. So pretty decent. But otherwise, so if that's not out there, you're basically gonna got a chance to steal 1 random buff, which that side of it's a kind of bit weak. If block debuffs is not out there, that side of it's a little bit weak. He is getting accuracy, I think, before he does it though, which means that it's very easy to make this actually work with the accuracy you're going to require. Then decreases all enemies' turn meter by 15%. If an enemy is from Talarian League, which must be where He-Man's from, decreases that enemy's turn meter by 30%. So Talarian League, let me just double check that. Yeah. So basically, Barbs, Sacred Order, High Elves, or Banner Lords, you're going to get a 30% turn meter drop, which is pretty useful, honestly. But 15% generally, which is not bad as well. Pushing someone's turn meter back is pretty solid. If you were pushing our turn meter on at the same time, it becomes considerably better, I'll be honest. Like, you know, like what Lysandra does or something like that. Because on its own, this is just basically what Deke does. Kinda. Not as good as what Deke does. Okay, we then got a passive here. Whenever this champion attempts to place a debuff, steal a buff, or decrease enemy turn meters. So pretty much everything he's got going on in his kits from here. You've got 1 debuff in here, potentially 2 if it's a boss. You've got turn meter stuff going on in here, and stealing buffs. So whenever he's attempting to do that, even if he doesn't do it, you get accuracy increased by 20 for each buff on that enemy. So if you're pushing someone's turn meter back and they got 3 buffs on, you're grabbing 60 accuracy times 4 if it's a team of 4. Yeah, so you're gaining like 240 accuracy there. Damn, that's actually mad. Whenever this champion is hit, 40% chance to place a decreased resistance on the attacker. The chance increases to a 75% chance against Talarian League. Interesting. And then we get accuracy in all battles. So he's an accuracy mule at this point. I mean, interesting kit. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's interesting. Probably mainly for arena, I would guess. You know, you can't do turn meter control on most bosses nowadays, or if you can, 15% is not that great. It's definitely, yeah, they've definitely both been sort of set up as arena-based champs. This one, though, this is the only skill really that is massively impacting any sort of arena battle. Taking away block debuffs and a buff doing some turn meter dropping. This one's okay, but it's a single target, so you like take one person out of the fight. You know, compare that to Mithrala, who has got petrification on hit. Just feels like, yeah, don't know. Doesn't feel that strong to me. Don't know. Let me know what you think. Skeletor, He-Man. Firstly, do you like their kits? Secondly, are you loving this kind of like collaboration stuff? Yeah, don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell if you don't want to miss the catch-up videos that I'm doing over the next couple of days. And I'll see you in the next one.